Hello everyone, Switch Double here. I'm hoping that everyone is having an amazing Christmas holiday with the good food, with the gifts. I'm also hoping that everyone has a good time with drinking hot cocoa, watching good Christmas movies. I have 5 scary fictional stories for all of you. I hope all of you will have an amazing Christmas, enjoy the holiday and the stories. I'm wishing you all a Merry Christmas. In my second year of college, I have an experience that happened to me during the Christmas holiday. My name is Daryl, by the way. At the time, I was 21 years old during the 2017. I have always loved Christmas, even as a kid. I always celebrated with my family. But this particular year, I was informed by my parents that I won't be able to spend time with them for this holiday. It turned out they were going to see other relatives. So I informed my then girlfriend, now wife, Amy, same age, about this. She thought, why not to celebrate with her family for the holiday? Since I had celebrated Thanksgiving and had a barbecues with her family in before, and I was all in good terms with them, so I was like, why not? And since her family loved me, so she called and asked her parents about this just in case if that was okay, and they had no problem with it. So during the holiday, everything went just perfectly well. I mean, we were just having a good time. In fact, Amy had told me that I could spend the night with her for from Christmas Eve to the day after Christmas Day. So for one, I will be sleeping in their home for 2 days, which I have done before. So during the day on Christmas Eve, we were just having a good time, watching some movies, some playing some games like that. But then it all went really pretty much different way during the night before Christmas Day. I woke up in the middle of the night in need to use the restroom. But when I came out from the restroom, I heard a sound from the living room. When I peeked around the corner, I saw this dark figure at this Christmas tree. And I saw even the front door was wide open. And this was middle of winter, so the cold air was just rushing in. And I saw this figure to putting the packages with the gifts in a bag. I really immediately took action. I snuck behind this guy and I pushed him right to the ground and I started and grabbed one of his arms behind his back and pushed one of my knees on his back and started yelling for help. Amy's dad, he was a light sleeper and he immediately reacted. And I want to mention, Amy's dad is a retired cop. When he came down and saw me with the guy on the floor, he immediately helped to hold him down while Amy's mom called for 911. And the police officer did show up, and well, turned out this guy was a drug addict and he was looking for things to steal so that he could get the next fix. And this kind of things happens all the time, so I knew that. And after this guy was taken away, Amy and her family praised me so much about this. Not only I was a hero to her family, but I prevented these gifts could have been stolen, but they told me, at least I'm safe. The gifts could also be replaced, but I couldn't. And even my family was pretty much also, well, very happy that I prevented a burglary from that particular time. Even I was happy to have been there to protect my beloved Amy and her family from any harm. Even after that, even after this, around New Year's, I proposed to Amy. She said yes. We eventually got married sometimes even after we finished college. Even though it's a different story, but I just want to mention it. And Amy has always been there for me. And I was really scared if I wasn't even there enough. I'm not sure what if this guy would have gone around in the house looking for other things to steal. I was happy that she was inviting me to spend the holiday. Thank you. I have always loved Christmas ever since I was little. My name is Emily. This happened around 2021 when I was 20 years old. I was really happy to invite my boyfriend, Nate, now fiance, over to my family's home for Christmas. And since my parents loved him, he was very kind. And when we showed up at my family's home on Christmas Day, I learned that they had also invited Mr. Ian, who was living next door to us, and he had been living by himself since his wife passed away a few years earlier, and he was 42, and he looked to be a kind man. But during the preparations for dinner, Nate was talking with my dad in another room while my mom was cooking. I was alone in the living room with Mr. Ian. We were just watching some TV, and he did ask me how my college days were, and I was still at the college at the time. And, well, I told him it was going well, and I mean, it was its tough times, but it was fun. He even asked me how serious I was with Nate if we had any plans for the future together. I mean, I didn't see anything wrong with that question, so I told him that we did have plans getting married sometimes after college and settle down sometime after all that. But then, all that took a whole different turn when Mr. Ian asked me if I would consider to be dating an older man. I was a bit taken aback at the question since I've never been asked this before by anyone. And I said no to that, of course. But then he insisted that I should leave Nate and to date Mr. Ian instead. I felt very uncomfortable about that. And as I was trying to stand up, but Mr. Ian grabbed my arm and said it was rude to just do that, just to leave in the middle of the conversation. I tried to get away from him, but he wasn't even having it. And the right moment, as my dad and Nate just walked in and saw it all happening, and my dad could see me that my face was in a panic face. So I should mention this. My dad is a former Marine, so he grabbed by Mr. Ian's collar of his shirt and grabbed him and dragged him all to the front door and just threw him out and told him to never come near me ever again. My parents apologized about this. I told them it wasn't their fault. They couldn't have known that Mr. Ian was this kind of a creep. But a month later, about the next year, 2022, I was told from my family that Mr. Ian had moved out from his home. And that was actually also the last time I ever saw him. And that was my only time when I had a very creepy experience when it comes to Christmas. I really hope that I will never encounter a man such like Mr. Ian ever again in the future. And even though this might not be even chance of Mr. Ian and I meet, but Mr. Ian, stay away from me and don't act like that to any other younger women ever again. Thank you for that. Some years ago, around 2014, our Christmas holiday, I was invited for dinner by my best friend Becky and her fiance Peter. I was actually accepted since my family wouldn't be home for the holiday, so I immediately accepted the invitation. And when I got there, it turned out they had invited another guy by the name John. He was a co-worker of Peter, and he was only like 2 years older than me. And just before dinner, John and I was just having a conversation at first seems to be a nice guy, but I learned that was a complete act. Even when he started flirting with me, just to be irrelevant though, I was single at the time and I was not interested in dating anyone, at the moment at least. When he started to flirt with me, and I have no interest with him, and he took this offensive and immediately got angry, and started talking to me in a loud voice, and that I should give him a chance because he's in his words, a handsome, nice guy and fun to be with. But I once again refused. This brought attention to Peter, who looked annoyed about it. Peter just walked up to me and told John to just leave and that he wasn't welcome back because he was tired of his shenanigans since John has always done the same thing to Becky's other female friends, including co-workers. But this time John pushed Peter backwards and he hit his head on the wall hard and he lost his consciousness, and John then panicked and fled the house. But eventually he was arrested by the police. He was found at the local bar and he had been drinking so much. Peter pressed charges against John. John was put in jail for a short time. Of course, in the process, he lost both his job and all of his friends. And the last time I heard about him, apparently he left town, and I'm good riddance too because I didn't want to even see even his face even around me. So John, thinks that we will never see you ever again. And also, this was my only time I felt scared during Christmas. It all happened 11 years ago, around 2012 Christmas holiday. My name is Jessica, by the way. I was 20 years old at the time, and this is also involved my best friend Gina, same age as me. Since it was around the Christmas, me and Gina decided to do some shopping at the local mall to find some gifts for our families. At the time, we had actually visited a few stores and found a lot of things that we could buy for us, and we visited from clothing stores and thrift stores. Around 1 p.m., we decided to take a break and get something to eat at the food court. And there, Gina noticed an older man in his 50s sitting by himself by a table, looking at us. When she saw that him, at least looked at him, he was smirking and it gave her shivers. She told me to look, and I did. Sure enough, I got the shivers at the same thing. So we left the food court shortly afterwards and did some more shopping. We eventually forgot about the man, and after just two more stores, we did notice that the man was following us in a distance, and he was smirking the whole time. Gina suggested we went to the second floor to see if we could find something up there. So we went up there, and hopefully to lose the man. And even though we walked around there, we did find a few things, and at first we didn't see the man anywhere. But then he was just around the corner, and he was still smirking, and he was now a bit closer. Both of us then started feeling a bit scared and uneasy. So we chose to finish our shopping and went down to the ground level, and I whispered to Gina that we should tell a security guard. We did find one, and the man didn't even stop, and he even walked up to us and acted that 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 he was one of our dads, that if he was the dad of one of us. But the security guard didn't buy the story and told the man to leave. But the man refused and tried to grab Gina's arm. But the guard grabbed the man's arm and pushed him to the ground, and someone called for police, and the man was taken away. We later found out that this man was known to do this many times to other female customers all the time. I felt weirded out. But at least next time when I went to the mall with Gina, we didn't see the man. And hopefully we won't have to see him there ever again, especially at Christmas or any other particular holidays. So to the man, let us never meet again. I have always loved Christmas shopping with my family, but there's only one time when I was very scared, but not for me, but for my daughter, Jennifer. This happened around 2016 Christmas holiday. Me and my daughter Jennifer went to local mall to find some gifts for our family just during the day before Christmas Day. And we had been in the mall for about an hour at the time, and we saw this line for this mall Santa. And Jennifer wanted to go there, and I thought it would have been a bad idea. So we went to the line, and after a while, it was Jennifer's turn, and Santa Claus asked her what she wanted. She told him that she wanted a Barbie doll, and Santa said if she has been a nice girl, she will get one for sure. After that, we walked around, and after about half an hour, I did notice that Santa Claus was actually following us. Or at least around where we went. At first, I thought maybe he was on a break, but he kept following us in a distance, and I started to feel a little bit concerned about this. But we went to the clothing store. I left Jennifer just alone for a moment, and Santa Claus walked up to her and said if she followed him, he would give her as many Barbies as she wanted and other things. But Jennifer told him that she needed to ask me for permission first. But Santa said that he had already supposed to had asked me and that I was also given okay with it. But Jennifer then said that she didn't want to go with him. But Santa got upset, of course, and tried to drag her out of the store. But Jennifer was smart enough and yelled out for me, and thanks goodness for that, I was close by. I saw the dress that Santa tried to do, and I ran up to them. And Santa Claus makes cues, which I didn't buy, and then he tried to take off. He literally just turned around and made a dash out for the store, but he didn't even get far from it. A few bystanders saw it all happen, stopped him, and it later was revealed that the man wasn't even hired by the mall to be as a mall Santa. So overall, he was a fake male mall Santa. And even after all this, Jennifer was scared for a while. But on the Christmas Eve, on the Christmas Day, she had forgotten about it and she was happy for her toys and other things that she got. I later learned that the man was arrested, sent to prison for a number of years because of possession of meth, heroin, and other things, and including his van. I was very stunned that this man was acting as a mall Santa. I have no idea what this man was even trying to do with Jennifer, but I'm glad he never had the opportunity. And for this man, I hope you stay in prison for the rest of your life. That will be your new home. I really hope that everyone had a good time listening to my fictional Christmas stories. Christmas has always been my favorite holiday of the year. Not because of the gifts, but the food, but most of all, to spend time with my family. I know that many people love Christmas as well, but sometimes Christmas can also be a dangerous time as well. This story is about when people being burglary and have their Christmas gifts stolen in the middle of the night, which has happened. And having a fake mall Santa Claus also has happened many times before in the past. And some other things. So my cautious word is always being aware of your surroundings in this holiday, especially when you're out in shopping or anything. All I want is that everyone will have a good Christmas holiday. And I really hope that everyone has a good time listening to my fictional Christmas stories. And once again, everyone, all I want to say is Merry Christmas. Thank you for listening.